few quilts, and I know it always takes a few seconds for YouTube to like tell people that we're here. So I'll just chat with you for a minute, and then we're gonna go have a quick tour of our quilt show. So this is our local show in Spokane, Washington. We're called the Washington State Quilters Spokane Chapter, but we're the only chapter in this book, so you know, that's that's how it goes. Anyway, well, there's one person here. I'm gonna try and turn the camera around because you guys don't want to see me, and I'm gonna try and not be super shaky. I thought we would start because I talk so often about the treasure challenge in my machine quilting guild, and this year's challenge was that each person had a napkin. Is napkin the word I want?
Yes.
Handkerchief,
Vintage.
I guess. Vintage, you can see by the coloring in it. And then they were to make kind of a whole cloth quilt, and you could not cut the napkin. So everybody makes a project and prepares a storyboard telling the story. And this is Eva's, by the way. Eva, who is with me. So let's tour the vintage quilts. I can't quite get the whole thing in. And this storyboard shows a bunch of detail. Everybody does them differently. You're not given any stipulations. Can have drawings, can have fabric swatches, can have pictures. And this one has an actual story. Look at that. Okay, so there's that. Here's another one. Look how pretty. Set in behind some beautiful color. And I'm gonna zoom in so you can see the detail around it. Look at that lovely scalloped edge. How pretty is that? This also belongs to a friend, Beth North, but see, I know everyone in Spokane, so they're all gonna belong to a friend. How am I ever gonna vote, you guys? So everyone is vying for first, second, and third ribbon, is that right, Eva?
Yes. People's choice.
Yes, people's choice. So, Janice is saying she'd love to watch, but she's got to work. That's really sad, but fortunately it'll be here later, so you can always come back. Okay, look at the quilting on this. We're gonna zoom in on this one. I mean, look at the hand-done details for one thing. Look at those nifty little dots and big stitch quilting added to it, and some real gorgeous, almost couching
I think
on
that's
there.
a
Isn't that
doily.
pretty? And some kind of embroidery. Seriously, people are so creative. And this one is a round quilt, in case you didn't see that as I was walking up to it. Look at that. Gorgeous. So, in the description, I mentioned that there's over 500 quilts in the show. I will not go this slow through all 500 quilts, I promise you. I was just gonna give you a quick overview of this challenge, and then we'll go look at some other areas a little more quickly. So here's a few more that are in this vintage challenge. Check out this one. Can you guys find it? So it is the starfish. And it looks like she did pictures to show that the whole thing exists because you weren't allowed to cut it.
She folded it.
So
in half.
it's tucked, I think it's in half. And reverse applique maybe?
Yeah.
Or that's the corner of it and those diagonal lines?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. There, Eva's pointing it out for you. Look at that. And then look at this one. It's kind of origami-like, plus doilies. Like, how cool is that? Okay, this is Lexi Berg, and she is our featured quilter this year, so we'll go by her exhibit a little later on. Remind me if I forget, okay? And look at this one, also three-dimensional.
Oh,
And it says lift, only
lift.
we're not really supposed to touch it. Okay, shh, don't tell anybody. Your inner voice. Listen, smile, act. Love it. And look at the storyboard. How colorful is that? And this is the last one. So much uniqueness. Like, that is a beautiful treatment of that napkin. Okay. Feel free to ask questions if you want to, you guys. We're going to walk now through some vendors, and I'm officially not supposed to film the vendors because I haven't gone around and asked for permission. So we're just going to walk on through and into the next bay. So we have 3 huge bays of quilts. Like, I have got a ton to show you. So just hang on while we walk. I'll raise the camera a little so you can see a few pieces as we go by. I was hoping to catch maybe some woolen quilts, which are kind of in this area. It's always arranged a little bit the same from year to year. Oh, look, we've got some art quilts. Look at this. How fun is this? I'll raise my camera up a little bit so you can see. Aren't these gorgeous? Let's zoom in on this one a little bit. That is beautifully done. Pretty
Good morning,
quilts.
quilters.
Oh, wow, you guys get to hear the PA system
We'll
too.
start at 11:30. Will be tips for
We
sewing
always
on
have some Quilts of
silicone
Valor
products.
hanging
More SDs
kind of on
will
the
be
sides of the walking
demonstrating
areas.
tips for sewing on silicone products at
They're kind of an
11:30.
extra. And we have a charitable organization here too that's called Charity Central, and their quilts are often sprinkled throughout the show as well. And let's see if we can find some of those ladies. Look who we have here. This is our local Modern Quilt Guild. Look at, they're whispering, maybe eating. Whoops. I did ask these ladies, by the way, lest you think I'm taking advantage of them. I made sure they were okay with being on camera. So this is the InMod, Inland Northwest Modern Quilt Guild. Gorgeous, hey? And let's see. One other thing that I think is really interesting, this wall with the theme running through, this was a Quilt Guild challenge. So everybody received the focus fabric, which of course is the teal, and the challenge was to use very traditional blocks somewhere in your quilt. So we're seeing pinwheels and bear paws, Jacob's ladder, that's one of my personal favorites. And look, this wall goes on forever, all the way down there. Lots and lots of these quilts. So I'm gonna pan down them a little bit and we're gonna head toward the featured quilter so that I can show you some of her exhibit. And I did mention her name is Lexi Berg, and I didn't tag her. She's not really on social media anywhere, so, but that's her walking with the teal coat. I didn't ask Lexi, so I won't put her on the spot, but let's go look at some of her quilts. She's a very artistic quilter. And a few of these I recognize. They've been parts of challenges in the past. That runner right there was a challenge, and so was that one up at the top in our Machine Quilting Guild. So a few of them I recognize. I feel like Lexi loves deep, rich colors. What do you think? And I know that she dyed this fabric. And didn't she make quilting spectacularly to play up those colors and shapes? It's a beautiful quilter. Let's keep going around. We're kind of on the back side of her display so far. I probably should be further away so you can see the whole things. There you go. We'll keep moving around. Smile, everybody. You're on camera. Okay, we have to walk past a post. Sorry. Look at those birch trees. Isn't that something? Let's have a closer look at that. Fairly simple, but oh my goodness, so beautiful. So these are all Lexi's quilts, the featured quilter. Let's keep going, and now we're coming to the front of her display. And I'm going to back up a little bit so that you can get the full picture of some of these quilts. We always have hostesses at the quilt show, and they wear the blue aprons and the white gloves, and they're happy to answer questions, and they're sprinkled throughout the show. There's a couple dozen of them. So this is an embroidered one. We'll go in a little closer to that. There's a table now between me and the quilt, so I can't go super close easily. This was one of our vintage quilt challenges. I remember Lexi getting those fans. Look at the one at the top, two at the top that she created literally a fan from. I guess they all are. They just have a little bit different quilting. And a very modern one. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you can get the whole big picture. Look at those beautiful quilts. And again, that's Lexi with the blonde head and the teal jacket. She's the quilter. Okay, moving on. I'm trying to think. Actually, we're going to go down this hall, you guys, because those of you who've been watching for a while remember that I made a quilted coat. And I got to see if I can remember exactly where it is so I can show you the quilted coat. I only entered 2 things in the show this year. Let me turn the camera around. You can watch me while we're walking. I only entered 2 things in the quilt show this year, and the quilted coat is one of them, and the hexie quilt is another. So I will show you both of those as we come to them. Do you want to run ahead, Eva, and see if you can find the coat? It's this side or that, and I can't remember which. I'm turning you around again because there's a couple gorgeous quilts here I want you to see. Look at that. Look at those beautiful quilts. So pretty. And look at that Quilt of Valor on the far side. Isn't that striking? And here's the coat. Boom. I remembered where it was. we go. There's the little quilted coat hanging. Too bad I can't be wearing it and swirling it. But anyway, that's the way it goes. Okay. Moving into our last bay. No, this is just the second bay.
This is second.
So we've been through so far one bay and one kind of central plaza. So we're going into the second bay, and then there is a third one. Let's see. I know I saw some that were of particular interest in here. But now to remember which ones. Oh, this category is fun. Some of these are youthful quilts. Some of the quilts are made by teenagers. And this one, let's see. See the category? Youth up to 18 years old. So all the quilts in here were made by younger kids, which I just love. Love that they get an opportunity to show off their quilts. And they always get ribbons. Of course they do. And it's so worthwhile. Oh, here comes a wool one. Can you see that? Let's go have a look at that close up. There's a couple of them in here. We're gonna go zoom in close and have a good look at a couple of these. Look at this. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that pretty? And this is made by Terry Engelman. I know Terry, she's been quilting for a long, long, long time. And look at this one too. I'll give you some close-ups and then I'll back up so you can see the whole quilt. It's just beautiful. This one is made by Patricia Giles. Let's back up so you can see the whole thing. Isn't that pretty? Anne is saying, so many gorgeous quilts. Hope you have a map of the show. Well, I do, Anne, but of course it's not handy because my two hands are holding the camera. So I took a quick couple laps around the building before I got on air. So I had some sense of where things are. But Eva, my sidekick, does have a map, so she can always look things up. Isn't that pretty? Again, a quick zoom in on the quilting. Somebody loves feathers. That's what I'm saying. Okay, what else shall we see in here?
Around straight.
We're approaching 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Let's catch a few more and then I'll take you guys to the Hexie quilt. Isn't that pretty? That's just a sweet, sweet quilt. Let's see who it's made by. Cynthia Hallisey. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Armadillos on your quilt. Hope a Texan made that one. Well, I mean, obviously, Texas in the middle of it. Super cute. And look at this. Cats. The Halloween ball. You guys tell me if you're getting seasick, okay? I'm trying to be steady. I'm really trying. Okay. You tell me if you know of anything great I should be seeing, Eva. Let's just buzz through the people. I'll hold the camera way up over their heads.
Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Let's go have a look at this big one. Let's have a look at this big one, and then we'll go have a look at the Hoffman Challenge. Isn't that beautiful? That is so big. It's got to be a king size. It's so big the bottom is folded up. Can you see that? Enormous. Just beautiful. Okay, let's go look at this. This is the Hoffman Challenge, which is the monarch butterfly. Oh my goodness. We gotta walk along this one a little bit. Like there's just no way to show you tons and tons of them. It would take forever, but look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? Zooming in even closer, look at the French knots. That is fantastic. Here's another one that really catches my eye because it's so three-dimensional. Can you see that in these flowers? Every petal layered in there beautifully. I mean, this is stunning. Look at the detail in that butterfly. It's just amazing. Just amazing. And these go on and on and on all the way around. Wow. Okay. Let's see, where shall we go next? We're gonna head for the Hexie quilt because I happen to know where it is and we're close to it. And if there's any area you'd particularly like to see, I'll try and find it. We're kind of in the large quilts at this point. And we do have such a variety. As you've seen, there are applique, there are embroidered, there are hand quilted. I have not seen that grouping, but there always is a hand quilted category that's fairly sizable. We have some gifted quilters. And then there are ones that are made by one person, like both pieced or appliqued and quilted. There are quilts that are made by a duo, by two people. There are quilts that are computer aided in the quilting, and all of these things are given different categories to try and make the ribbons as equitable as possible. Look at the quilting on this one. Can you see that? Oh, that's amazing. Made by Lois Sackman and quilted by Gail Smith. That is a beautiful quilt. Okay, moving on. Ready? Ready? Oh, no, it's one more section yet. I keep saying ready. There it comes. There's my hexie hanging proud. So this one is in the duo category because a lady in Honduras, her name was Gady, pieced it, hand pieced it, I might add, and I quilted it. And it's about 84 inches square, so it is a sizable quilt. Isn't that pretty? We'll go have a closer look. And I did quilt this one live on YouTube, so you can always go back and look at those episodes. And all the hexies are simply quilted, as you can see. Simple arcs, point to point to point. And then in the center, I did these kind of roses and circles in the yellow ones, trying to make, you know, kind of that bubble texture. It just sets them off, I feel like. And I have named that quilt Gady's Masterpiece. And I love it. Okay, we'll go around the corner and catch a few more, and then we'll probably call it good. If you do have any questions about the show, I will try and read the comments without shaking too badly. Here's an artist at work. Look at this. That is just, it's so amazing to me. I don't think in color in that way. Mickey McReynolds. She is such a gifted modern quilter. This was my emotional reaction to everything COVID in this state of the world. It insisted on being made, and it still applies today. When you just can't take it anymore. But the use of color, like as you back away, that is just amazing. Such a good job Mickey did. All right, Eva. Oh, I see another applique one. Let's slowly pan around so you can see a few in between. And we're heading for that one right there. We'll zoom in on it a little bit. Tina Keenan is maker and quilter. Edita Sitar's pattern. Look at that beautiful applique. Now it does look like it is machine done. Am I right, Eva? Yes, it is. It's a really fine zigzag, but just absolutely pin neat. Beautifully done.
Someone's right behind you.
And I'm backing up into someone, so I quickly stopped. Let's have a look at this one. Look at those colors. Yes, it has to be a Jacqueline Dejean. I don't know how to say her name, but her colors are so distinctive. And her designs with curves, interlocking curves. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. I am going to turn the camera around. I'm going to stand in front of that gorgeous quilt, and we're going to look at some comments. These are spectacular. I can't decide if I am more motivated or intimidated. Wow, I have so much to learn. You know what? One of the beautiful things about this show as a whole is that so many skill levels are represented. So Terry Engelman, I think we've seen one or two of hers. She is a master quilter. She's been doing it for years and years and years. Beautiful applique, all the things. But then we go right down to the youth, and I meet novice quilters here all the time who've just started quilting, and there's room for everyone. And the community here is very open to, your quilt does not have to pass a particular skill level or be juried in, like just show off the things that you make. And so I do just love that. Okay. Oh, Laura's saying, I think you walked past my Aunt Phyllis in the tan coat. Hysterical. It's someone going by. Donna, the camera's at me, you guys. You don't have to worry. Work can wait for a live quilt show. So good. Not a ton of comments. So anyway, thanks for joining me. And I'm going to give you one last pan, and then we're going to say bye. And Eva and I are going to go enjoy all these quilts. You can see the bays extend. We've only seen just a little fraction, but I hope you got a little taste of it. Whet your appetite a little bit. All right, everyone, catch you next time.